Canadians have a reputation for being polite. Does that mean we can't innovate? I'm John Stackhouse, and every month I host RBC Disruptors. We bring in leading thinkers for thought-provoking discussions. I spoke with Canadians working in Silicon Valley about our country's tech ecosystem. Angela Strange directs venture capital funding at Andreessen Horowitz. Dan DeBow is a serial entrepreneur who has sold companies worth nearly $300 million. And Michelle Zatlyn is an entrepreneur. She co-founded a leading cybersecurity provider after graduating from Harvard Business School. I asked them about the future of Canada's tech sector and what we need to do if we want to beat Silicon Valley at the innovation game.
This concept of certain people are innovators and certain people are not innovators is totally not true. Like, anybody who has the motivation and the curiosity can be an innovator.
And so this idea of both thinking big and not be afraid of telling the story and bringing people along with you are really, really important. If Canadians can get that right, then you will get further faster. Both matter.
More startups happening now. There are more engineers who are willing to stay here and start. Most important thing is that we have companies that are at the 10 to 20 to $30 million range raising 10, 30, 40, $50 million to build scale companies here. That's something that I don't think we've seen before.
We are very, very good now at starting companies. Like, I think there's people taking really big risks, coming up with interesting ideas. We have some of the best engineers in the world. We should celebrate that way more often.
As leaders of your company, you have to become comfortable with some of the people working for you on crazy ideas that will fail.
50% of the current unicorns, which is the current marketing term for companies that are worth $1 billion or more, are founded by immigrants. And if you look at where those immigrants are from, India is #1, and then Canada's tied for #2. So there are a lot of Canadian entrepreneurs building really big companies down in the US. Why not here?
Canada really has become, in a lot of ways, a startup nation. We're really good at starting things. Our next step is, how do we become a scale-up nation? How do we take that momentum of our world-class engineers, our really smart entrepreneurs who are starting companies, and help build them into the next billion-dollar businesses?
It's not about building a tech industry. It's about taking every one of our industries and figuring out how we can reinvent them using software and computing and better distribution models.
We need to build innovation into the culture. Challenge conventional wisdom. Get out of our comfort zones. Be bold, not humble. And not worry so much about being polite.